Hello, everybody. So, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times, I guess. All right, so we just finished with the Commonwealth of Virginia versus Theodore Whitelow case. We watched an hour and a half of evidence being presented in the General District Court here. We saw the Chief Commonwealth Attorney handling the case, the elected Commonwealth Attorney, Tim Martin, sitting at counsel table. We saw the elected Sheriff of Augusta County show up in the courtroom. We watched the Sheriff and the Commonwealth Attorney and the judge recognize one another's existence in the courtroom multiple times. What ultimately happened in this case is a true injustice. Now, we have injustice everywhere in this country, and particularly when it comes to black and brown people who are in courtrooms. But what we saw today is an incredible injustice. It is perhaps surprising to me. I am shocked that I could be surprised by Augusta County and the actions of individuals in law enforcement in Augusta County or in the judiciary, but today I was surprised. Here's what happened in court today, folks. After all the evidence was presented, after Michael Roan took the stand, lied 6 separate times, was not just lied 6 separate times, but through cross-examination was found to have had lied 6 separate times. He was caught in 6 separate lies. But after that testimony, after all of the testimony, what Judge Shaw did is he found facts sufficient to convict Theo, but then decided to defer the conviction. Now, what that means is that there's no conviction, there's nothing to appeal. So this is the judge's way of pronouncing some kind of ideation that Theo was wrong or a bad guy, but then at the same time saying, but not bad enough, so I'm not going to convict you, which means we can't appeal the case to this court, which means the injustice dies in that courtroom. Now, here's the good news. With the deferral of the conviction, of course, that saves Theo personally. But the injustice here is perhaps worse because what we have seen in the General District Court today is the elimination of due process rights of criminal defendants who are not liked by the Commonwealth Attorney or the Sheriff of this county. But actually, guys, I think it goes further than that. Yeah, I think what we saw today was a complete setup from start to finish. I think the judge's hands are as dirty as the sheriff's and as dirty as the Commonwealth Attorney's. I think Judge Shaw did his job today, but he didn't do his job for the people of Virginia. He did his job for the costumed gangsters that run this town. But I'm going to tell you something, county, whatever. I am going to tell you that the time the rule of the costume gangsters is coming to an end. And the fact is that the truth about Sheriff Smith and his cronies, the truth about Tim Martin, and even today the truth about Judge Shaw is seen and people know it. There is no justice in this place, but justice is coming to this place, and we will stay here and fight until we bring justice to this place. And the individuals that showed their raw, corrupt power today, we can only hope end up inside those cells that they use to abuse and harm people one day. It is not a short fight. And far, far, far too many of the times we come together, we'll be coming together to mourn instead of celebrate. But the reality is that every time we fight, we get closer to a win. Every time we push it till we absolutely can't push it anymore, we get closer to a win. And every so often, it takes an accumulation of energies pushing through corruption to be able to break free. And you seem to notice the corruption so much more when you're so close to beating it. You seem to notice when you are in the midst of this type of corruption, of this type of governmental abuse, it seems to get worse before it gets better. I see today as evidence not of something we should consider a loss, because before they ever had anyone fighting, there never would have been a deferred ruling here. The ruling here was designed to keep this case from being appealed. The ruling here was to say a few words nice that covers your sheriff and your Commonwealth attorney, but ultimately doesn't test the mettle of your case. What happened today is absolute injustice, but it is a sign that justice, true justice, is coming to Augusta County. And here's the case. This is the thing, guys, and it's true no matter what. The people over in that building can't possibly stop it. It's happening now. Momentum is here. And they can't stop it. They know what's coming. A complete change of the way justice is done in this county. And when that change happens, let us not be weary to go back to the people who were abused by the system, to fight for them too. There are so many people that need our help here, and so many people that need you to be willing to fight. So many people that need you to be willing to hold on just a little bit longer. So many people that need you to be willing to risk yourself to help somebody else, which is what you did coming here today. And it's what I'm going to ask you to do over and over and over again. And it's going to happen so many times, and it's going to feel like we're so far away, but I promise you, we're going to get there together. Thank you guys so much. Theo?
Okay, so when Mike asked me, do you want to speak first or do you want me to speak first? I should have spoke first because it's hard to speak after him because he's so passionate and powerful about what he's speaking about. I just want to say thank you all for coming out here and showing me support. It meant a lot to me. It put a smile on my face when I was looking out the courtroom window. Nexus Services, all the family companies in Nexus, and the RISE organization and the Resistance Company from New York made it down here. I really appreciate it. The Black Panthers of Waynesboro are out here. And I just want to say thank you all for coming out and supporting me. I'd like to echo Mike's words. What happened inside that courtroom was an injustice. I'm not grateful to the judge for what he did. He thinks he's doing me a favor, but he didn't. This doesn't get back the fact that these cops put me and my wife and my kids outside in the rain without their shoes. Well, my kids and my wife, for something that didn't happen. There was a charge that was brought forth, an assault charge that was dismissed, but they're saying I obstructed that assault charge. Now, I don't want to echo the president or anything like that, but I mean, there was no crime, so how could there be an obstruction? So basically, what they did is they want me to do a buck dance for them. They want me to do a song and dance for them and perform community service. And they'll drop the charge that didn't really happen. The judge said that the finding of the facts for the arrest were the fact that I told them that they couldn't have I advised my wife she didn't have to give an officer her ID, which she doesn't. I didn't say, baby, don't give him your ID. I said, you don't have to give him your ID. And the other one was that I closed the door on the cops and told them, get a warrant or get off my property. So basically what they're saying is you don't have those rights anymore. I don't have those rights anymore. And as Mike said, with the deferred judgment, I can't fight it to say, look, I disagree with you, Your Honor. I just got to take the punch and keep moving. So as of right now, I don't have the right to tell an Augusta County Sheriff's officer, I'm not showing you my ID. I don't have the right to tell a cop, you can't come in my house without a warrant. You need to get off my property. I don't have that right anymore, according to this court right here. According to the United States Constitution, I do have that right, but according to this court, I don't have that right. According to the good old boy system here in Augusta County, I don't have that right. So I'm very disappointed at what happened in court today, but like Mike said, we're gonna fight, we're gonna keep fighting. This doesn't deter me one bit. You're still gonna see me out here on their asses every single day because that's the way I roll. When you're right, you fight.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.